Hello everybody, Random here, and today I'm going to be talking about my pretty much review on the $150 laptop I bought last year in March. It's been pretty much a year since I've got this. 10 months to be exact, but I think my opinion has settled in on it and it's not going to change. First thing I want to talk about, obviously, is the price. So I was going online looking for a laptop at the time, and I found this, the HP EliteBook 8460p model number. I thought, hey, this seems like a really good computer. And in my mind, I thought this would be a really good computer for gaming. And I looked into the hardware of it, and I was thinking, this seems perfect for me. I'm going to buy this, so I did buy it. There are a few flaws that happen. First of all, at the time, I had a really bad other laptop. And you're probably thinking, well, you had a really bad laptop, why didn't you learn from experience with it and get a desktop? Well, to be fair on my end, I had a laptop from the 90s, I believe, had a half a gigabyte of RAM, had 100 megabytes of video memory, and the CPU was 1.6 gigahertz, which is slow, terribly slow. My main problem at the time was thinking that it was my processor. So I went for the laptop with the highest processor. So I found a laptop for 150 bucks with an i7. I was thinking, hey, this seems perfect. So I bought it. But what I didn't look into was the graphics. I looked at the graphics and didn't think too much of it. I was thinking that every game was processor intensive because I was just trying to get the opposite of what my old laptop was, and I should have done my research a bit further. I wanted pretty much anything that was better than what I was currently having. And with my cheap budget at the time, I went for this one. And honestly, it kind of worked out for a little bit. I wanted to play games like Garry's Mod, which worked out fine for a while. I ended up putting 400 plus hours into it. Then I started playing more and more games like Counter-Strike, Skyrim, and the games were honestly showing me how much a graphics card is needed. With the graphics card being an Intel HD integrated graphics through the i5, everything just runs terribly on it. CSGO, I might get 30 frames, maybe 40, optimized to the teeth. I've changed every setting on it to make this thing run at its max performance, and it still runs CSGO at an average of 40 frames a second, maybe even lower, down to the 20s. So as you can see, I didn't do my research very good. Even with the graphics this bad, but with a good CPU, I was able to run certain things, like Garry's Mod. Like I said earlier, the reason why I got this computer to begin with was to be able to run Garry's Mod. And it actually did run Garry's Mod fine. I would run the game at least 100 FPS average. Of course, I did optimize my computer to the teeth, like I said earlier, but even without doing that, you could get a easy 70, 80 FPS, no problem. I'd run the game at very high settings with integrated graphics, which is really impressive in my opinion. But later on, I decided I needed a graphics card, so I started looking up upgrade solutions, and that honestly did not go as planned. I would end up spending more money trying to upgrade this thing to an external GPU than it would cost just to buy a new system. So that didn't work out very well. The point is I'm trying to say here is that if you wanted this laptop to play games like Garry's Mod or Counter-Strike Source or Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead, pretty much any Source game besides Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you're fine. This will run the games fine, modded. Even to this day, I still play Left 4 Dead 2 fine. I've kind of moved away from Garry's Mod because I got rather bored of it. And I still play Counter-Strike Source, but it's not ideal, really. For my standards, at least. You see, the big hitter at which I decided that this computer was not working out for me is whenever I decided to get Skyrim. I bought the game, and boy, the game did not run smooth. it would run at an average of 25 frames a second whenever I first booted it up, which was like terrible, especially for Skyrim. So as I started playing the game more, modding it more, I decided the game was unplayable because I got to the state where I liked the game as it was, but it wasn't playable. But in terms of price to performance of this computer, it's actually not a bad deal at all. For 150 bucks, you can't go wrong with this kind of a laptop. You can't expect anything great. With Intel HD graphics, of course, there's going to be a lot of compatibility issues, like Overwatch. For some reason, I had the mindset to play that game, and I couldn't even boot the game up because my graphics card wasn't even supported. But for the $150 price range, this computer, if you are that cheap on a budget and you want a laptop so you can carry around, this is fine for light gaming and doing stuff around on the internet, or just simply whatever else people do on computers that's not really that intensive. Funny, I looked at a review before I got this and it said same thing as I'm saying now. Built for light gaming and browsing the web, and I was thinking, no, it's probably built for heavy gaming. Dumbest thing I've ever thought of. And I paid the price for not doing my research and thinking straight. But since this is technically my first year in the PC gaming realm, I wanted to give you my opinion on what I think of it overall. Do I prefer consoles or do I prefer computer gaming? And even with no graphics card, even with running CSGO at 20 to 40 frames a second, even at running Skyrim at 20 frames a second, I still put 200 hours into Skyrim, and it is my favorite game to this day. And the reason why I even want a new desktop, computer gaming is a lot more free compared to the console realm, because you don't have to pay for online or anything. Just jumping into a server in Garry's Mod is 10 times more fun than anything you would ever do in Grand Theft Auto, anything you do in consoles. Just my opinion, but you just have more freedom. Like I said, it's my opinion. I don't want you to go dislike the video just because I said that. It's my opinion. I haven't played my PlayStation, sat down and played it and got serious and tried to enjoy it in a long time. I haven't done that since before I got this. I got Dying Light 3 months before I got this, and I played it for a little bit. And I was planning on playing it a lot longer than I did, but as soon as I got this computer, I just screw got Dying Light. This is what I'm going to be doing from now on. And note that I had Dying Light on the PS4 and not PC. So even with the $150 price tag, with no graphics card, running games badly, and having a console that can run things 20 times better than what I am currently using, this was a lot better than any experience I could have had on console. Of course, I am looking to upgrade to a new desktop, and I am going to be getting that soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but this one will actually come with a good GPU. Unlike last time, instead of just getting CPU focused computer, I'm getting a graphics and CPU focused computer, 960 with a i5 in it, which is a really good build altogether. And I can run the games that I couldn't run. I'll be able to run Skyrim on the new desktop, so I don't want this to be a rant about PC versus consoles, but I'm just saying, even with a game running bad on a PC, you can still have fun using the games. And with a good desktop, you can run things good and have 10 times more of the fun. That's what I'm getting at in this video. So the $150 laptop with no graphics card, my overall review for enjoyment, yes, enjoyment, would be about a 7 out of 10. Just for the enjoyment and thrill of being on a PC, it's just you just get so much more freedom. I still play PC games like Brawlhalla. I still play Counter-Strike Source. I still play Left 4 Dead 2. Of course, this isn't a comparison of Intel HD graphics laptop versus a GTX 1080 desktop with an i7. No, this isn't that. It's just my personal enjoyment of it. So for the people who are looking for a laptop to game on, make sure your laptop has good graphics in it, good CPU, plenty of hard disk space, and a good motherboard so you can put plenty of RAM into it. That's all you really need to look for. So this is my review on PC gaming and gaming on a $150 laptop 1 year later, or 10 months later to be exact. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and tell me what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Thank you.